here we are on a beautiful Tuesday evening in July. We couldn't ask for better weather. We have a quorum, so I would like to welcome everyone to the July meeting of the Simon Fairfield Public Library's Board of Trustees meeting. First thing we have on the agenda, I guess, is the minutes from June. Hopefully everyone has had a chance to read them. Thanks to Ellie for getting them out in a timely manner. Do we have any questions, concerns? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as written.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Hearing none, the minutes have been approved unanimously. So we can move on to our next. I depend so much on Justin now. I don't even put my thing up.
Not sure that's wise. Okay, so new share.
Yeah, I know. I'm starting to wonder, but I'm putting all my faith in you. That way I can blame someone if I mess up. All right, so next on the agenda would be
open.
I should have it pulled up, but I don't.
Financial report.
Justin.
I'm sorry. If you give me just 2 secs, I will get this sorted.
Okay.
Share this window, which right now looks like Chrome stuff, but that's where the report is hiding. There we go.
Sweet. That looks more like it. All right. So, financial report. Under that, we have the final numbers for FY25.
Yep, the last 2 electrical bills rolled in July. They rolled in on the 9th at just over, $1,000, which was a little bit more than I was expecting, but I was able to reclass a Baker and Taylor bill from grants. That's incorrect. Let me fix that. I was able to transfer a Baker and Taylor bill from grants, so I appreciate the $500 leeway y'all gave me last month. I only needed $193.75 of it, which means that it left us an operational turnback of $20.91, which is pretty darn close.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I'd say so.
Oh my goodness.
The rest of the turnback was personnel, but again, personnel is what it is.
Right.
Lori might not know this because she's a new trustee, but the way I report it here puts all the money in the same bucket. But for the way the town is concerned, the compensations are their own bucket. And everything else is in a different bucket. So, I can't spend money that was voted to pay people on stuff and vice versa. Yep. So I try to spend down the operational amount as close to zero as I can to ensure that we're not turning back, a lot of money to the town that was voted for us. But the personnel budget is a lot bigger and more complicated and driven by town compensation tables. So I just kind of stand out of the way of the town administrators' spreadsheets and let them give us the buffer.
Yep. Was part of the turnback of the $7,000, was that because Lisa and Marco came on not July 1st, but a little later on?
Yes,
maybe?
Some of that is accounted for by that because they were budgeted from July 1st to June 30th, and we didn't actually start posting the position until July 1st. So it was at least 2 weeks posting, a week of interviews. It was probably a full 3 or 4 weeks before we actually had them on staff.
That would make a big difference.
Mhm.
Okay, are we good with that, everybody?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Trustee accounts are pretty much exactly the same as I reported last month because I haven't had the chance to reconcile interest with Cheryl yet. She was on vacation. So we're getting into fiscal year stuff wrapped up. It should be done by the next meeting. But other than interest earned on these accounts, everything should be more or less final, which would leave us with, these capital funds of 270,000, unrestricted at 32,000. Um, these other stragglers on, the 922 for archives, 300 for story walks, 300 and 236 for children's books, and the 268 for circulating material. I chose to report on this stuff instead of FY26 because we honestly haven't paid a lot of bills yet in FY26. There's only been one warrant processed so far, and it's still not fully closed.
Right. Yeah. I think, I'm speaking for myself. I like seeing end of the year so we can like almost not close the door on it, but put that aside and know that will be reconciled.
Yeah, by next meeting, I should know what the final balances in all these trustee accounts will be, which will be our opening balances in the new accounts.
Right. Right. Okay, so if we could move on to the report.
Again, I chose to report on the year this month instead of the month. The month is the same story as always. Circulation is up. June is always usually our second busiest month, right before July. But I wanted to compare all of FY25 to FY24. And this is going to be in my director's letter in the next Douglas way. But, a long time ago, back in late January, we passed the threshold where our budget increase we got this fiscal year paid for itself in services that we had provided. The other number that I've kind of wanted to track towards the end of the year is, this 20% margin because we increased our hours by 20%. Was that going to lead to, 20% more usage or was it not? That's what I've wanted to know. And again, these numbers should be slightly better because of those first 3 weeks when we weren't quite there, but I still think they're good enough that we should report them. Our annual visits went up 28%. So that was more than expected. We increased our number of program offerings by 24%. Attendance only went up 19%. I wish it was 20. It's not, but there's still, I think, a good value in having lots of programs with small groups. Small amounts of programs which, generate, which have 40 to 50 attendees are great for statistics and all that. But, I feel like it's these intimate book clubs and trivia nights and painting nights and things that, you Douglas residents are actually kind of coming together, getting to know each other and making friends, which, is kind of a better and loftier goal, in my opinion. The self-directed activities, I don't know what to put there, 3,361%. We didn't do it before, and now we do.
I
Adult
picked up
items
my summer
borrowed.
packet.
Me too.
It's fun listening to Rebecca and Marco fight about how difficult these things are. So
Oh,
hopefully they're getting a
Marco
little
made
bit.
this. I glanced through it. He made it really tough. Really tough.
And circulation has increased to a level that I'm happy with. Adult items borrowed went up 19%. Teen items borrowed went up 14%. Children's items borrowed went up 18%. So that's kind of what being open 20% more hours has looked like this last fiscal year. And I feel like we will continue to grow because I still encounter people who don't even know, which boggles my mind, but it's still out there that, our hours are still the same as they were, 5 years ago. Some people just do not pay attention.
Yeah.
But we have
Well,
been getting I'm sorry, go on.
I just wanted to point out one statistic that I think is encouraging is the teen items borrowed going up because that's continues to be a hard audience to capture. But to,
Extremely hard.
yeah, but to see that they've increased their borrowing, whether they were forced to or whatever, they still borrowed. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
if we have like 5 minutes, just go into a crazy random aside, which has nothing to do with local operations. This is an industry wide problem. And it's not even necessarily related to what we're buying or what we're offering, but
Hello?
there are hardly any books being published right now
Yes.
about characters of a certain age. Because it is such a touchy topic, it's such an iffy topic. Authors want to
Hang
stay
on
away
one
from
second.
it.
I'm in the
Um,
middle of a meeting.
so we're getting, a lot of authors moving their, the books that they are publishing down or moving
I'm
them
okay.
up
Go
to
ahead.
where they're writing about
Mhm.
tweens instead of teens. So there's not a lot of characters being written of an
Okay.
age that would
Yeah.
appeal to this population to read.
That's very sad,
Yeah.
but
Right.
not surprising.
Okay, I'm going to mute Danielle for a minute and then. I'm trying to get back to the screen I'm sharing. There. I'll continue on talking about this if that works.
Yep.
One thing that looked bad on Eris was our registered borrower count because it went from 2,921 to 2,607. But there's an explanation behind this drop, and that's because all of the digital cards, the e-cards that were created during the COVID pandemic and then did not get used and picked up after it are dropping off. So during 2020, CW Mars opened up the e-card application process. Tons of people jumped onto it. A lot of people didn't even realize what they were doing because a lot of people who were already patrons registered for e-cards as well. And then that took a lot of sorting out after the fact. And then patrons have slowly been sort of matriculating, into having regular library cards. So that all of the e-cards that had not been used since pandemic days expired, earlier in 2025 because they hit that margin, of 2 years of inactivity and then 2 years of being purged. So
What
our
are
temporary pandemic patron bubble is burst.
what are e-cards as opposed to
They
regular?
give you access to CW Mars's digital collections. There is a link to them that is buried deep in our catalog because I would rather people just apply for a regular library card. It's equally as easy. And you get access to our advantage materials if you do that. Whereas if you get the e-card, you're just a generic CW Mars patron.
Okay, I don't really get it, but that's all right.
It was supposed to be an easy way to let people apply for library cards from home during the pandemic. And it verifies their addresses without them having to present an ID. So it doesn't let them check out physical materials, but it lets them use Libby.
Okay.
I mean, it's almost like library card light.
Yeah.
And now it kind of hangs on vestigially, but nobody really likes it.
Okay.
All right, it should. I'm trying to go back to the screen now. Can anyone tell if I should unmute Danielle yet?
I think she hung up. I thought she did.
We still got the phone to her face.
Okay, so Kate, do you want to continue us on?
Sure. So move on to other announcements.
Next Wednesday, we are going to be closing the stacks and the rest of the library, except for the area right in front of the circulation desk at noon, so that we can put a 10-hole mini golf course. It's going to start in the back parking lot. It's going to run through the library and then spit you back out in the parking lot when you're done. So the whole library is going to be a golf course. And so that's going to run from 1 to 3. And then at 3, we'll start taking it apart and putting everything back together as fast as we can. But for those 2 hours, we just encourage everyone to come join us for a round of golf.
Cool.
Picnic in the Park is coming up on August the 2nd. We'll have a presence there. Marco will be manning a booth with Bowling for Books again. And EFIS will be on August 9th, which we'll talk about a lot more later. All of our summer reading programs are now at capacity. They've been registered to the maximum extent that Fire Code allows for us and are waitlisted. So that's where we are now. We are very, very busy.
Great.
And that's all I have for the director's report.
All right. Under old business, building projects, accessibility.
So I've been working on a binder to give to Stephen Dix. It has a printouts of all of the relevant library design work that led to the 2015 Van Oers plans. I haven't gotten them into his hands yet, but I will make that a priority to have it done by the end of next month. But the binder we've been working on is ready to go. So any questions he has should be answered in that, which I've heard is kind of how he prefers to work, and we'll see what happens.
Is it Van Voris or Van Horace?
It's Van Voorhis. I was wrong for a very long time. 7 years, I think I mispronounced that man's name.
Oh. Okay, I guess I was too. And what are you what did we decide Stephen Dix was you were going to discuss with him?
You just wanted
Because
me to ask him what he thought of the plans and, if he thought there might be a way to minimize them or scale them back.
Okay. Any other questions or comments about accessibility? All right. Move on to Deb's room.
Gail has been playing in Deb's room, doing Gail things. She's putting Rust-Oleum paint on like all the electrical piping. She's painting the window sills. They're just like cleaning it up and making it look pretty. We mostly have Deb moved in. That was kind of forced because we have a program tomorrow going on that's going to need this central space's overflow. But her computer is still in here, and I've got to install a Wi-Fi card in it. Then we can move it in there. But now we also kind of want to wait till Gail finishes because it smells like paint in there. But we're almost there with moving in Deb, and it's going to be pretty neat when we do. After that, I want to get Brian LaValle in here and quickly move to get the archive ceiling finished that we had approved last year to be in this year's maintenance and repairs budget. And then that should be finished just in time to stage the central room for the fall online auction once we're able to move like our archive stuff back in here. And after that, who knows what we'll do with this space? We'll just have a flexible room in the middle of the basement that we can start doing things with. I was hoping to use LSTA money to turn it into kind of a tech lab space, but LSTA grants don't exist anymore, which is another thing we can talk about later. So that's all I have to say about that right now.
Very cool.
I figure once these things are done, will be an opportunity to kind of sit back and look and examine how much we have left and what we can accomplish with it.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on to capital campaign.
Literally, the number is the same as it was last month.
Nothing under other grants?
Nope.
All right.
I mean, I guess it's worth mentioning that the Douglas Cultural Council has pretty much bankrolled summer reading program. They awarded every single grant that we applied for and every single performer who applied for a grant to perform here. So that was awesome. Thank you, Douglas Cultural Council.
Thank you, Cultural Council.
Well, thank you for applying.
Thank Deb. That's all Deb.
Thanks, Deb.
I intentionally don't apply for Cultural Council money so that she can apply with her, children's programs for summer reading and then not have, something I've submitted competing against it.
All right, moving on to Friends.
Me. We
Ellie's
got one additional after Dawn. Thank you for your posting, but we only got one additional sign up for last month. We're still under $3,000 usually, or we've been as high as over $4,000. So it's sort of disappointing that people aren't jumping forth to become a member of the Friends. And this Saturday, the 27th or 26th, whatever that is we're having another auction meeting. And so if any of you want to come, that's fine. It's at 10 in the morning and it's a Zoom meeting. So Justin, can you get your Zoom stuff
I
running
can do
for
that.
all of the, okay. So Dave Peterson came by today and gave me one check, but and I picked up another one yesterday, as well as $1,000 from Texas Instruments that comes to us because that's where Chris Stevens used to work, and they allow retirees to volunteer in local places. And she does sort of focuses her work on the library's more Memorial Day sale, which is plants and books. And the plants really do a great job of getting us money. So she applies for money from Texas Instruments every year, and usually it happens around December. But she must have submitted her request right after Memorial Day, and so we got the check today. And I was saying to Paul Peterson, not Dave Peterson, that's his son, and Paul, that what we'll do is declare it as part of the auction money. So we're ahead $1,000 right there. So that's good. Mm-hmm. And because we do send that to the funding that we have for the capital campaign.
Great.
That's about it, I think.
So can I have a link to that auction meeting?
Yeah, I think did you get I was trying to update the people that come to it and stuff, and the only person I could add was you, and everybody else I couldn't add, so did you get an agenda for last and I'm sending it after we get off of this committee. I'll send it off to Caroline for her approval, Caroline Dorval, and then send it out to anybody else. It would have been in June sometime. I think we had the meeting, but I will
I
try.
printed out as much as I could because I knew I wouldn't have my computer with me.
Yeah,
So you just
I'll
want,
make sure, Lori, that you have a invitation
All right. Yeah.
whenever I make the Zoom link. Once Ellie has an agenda, I'll make the Zoom link and then reply all and make sure you're included.
All right. Yes. Thank you very much.
I just wanted to say I'm back. I'm
Sure.
sorry, I had a very important call from my cardiologist, so I had to take it.
Okay. Hope all is well.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. We just
Carry
finished.
on.
We just finished on with Friends, I believe. Anything else for Friends?
no, not for me.
Not for me.
All right. Federal and state funding.
There's going to be an MBLC budget meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m. I will try to attend that webinar to find out what's going on. But tomorrow is also payroll and voucher day and summer reading program day. So it won't surprise me if I don't get to attend that meeting and just find out after the fact. But hopefully some news will trickle down tomorrow because right now the MBLC and the MLS have both been very quiet since the IMLS was dismantled and its dismantling was upheld. The state budget is done, but there still seems to be a lot of anxiety about it for some reason. I don't really know. Hopefully I'll know more tomorrow. One thing I do know is that CW Mars is looking in FY27 at a bit of a budget problem because they got funding from other sources that made broadband initiatives cheaper. So our internet service through CW Mars was kind of subsidized through some federal grants which don't exist anymore. CW Mars is also kind of contractually obligated not to raise assessments by more than a certain percentage every year. So before next fiscal year's assessments are made, something's going to have to change. Either we'll have to amend the bylaws so that they can increase the assessments. We'll have to find a different way to backplug that funding and then, stop buying something else as a consortium. Or we could agree to apply browser filters that censor internet access and replace some of that funding discounts we got with another program called E-Rate. But that is really hard to implement, comes with a lot of reporting, and it's built more for a school environment than a public library environment, and is kind of anathema to everything we stand for when it comes to open access. So I doubt we'll be going down that road. But FY27 will be interesting.
Let's start getting through this year. This year's interesting enough.
You know.
Yeah, that's the only update I had. So,
No.
All right.
it's funner to talk about EFIS.
Yes. We're excited about our little outdoor movie showing. Oh, thank you.
Ooh.
I think I
Do
should.
you want this up, Dawn? I thought this would be helpful.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just I think I gave everyone at one point access to this Google Drive document. Go down a little bit, Justin, because that's just contact info at the top. And yeah, so everybody's doing their part. Kate and I went to the ball field yesterday and met with Tim Bonin, and Kayla is our contact from the EFIS film folks who is just helping to organize everything on the ground. So we're starting to do some promotion. Did anyone see the Tribune today, by the way? Can I show
I
it?
I
did
don't
not.
know if we
Sit
got
out.
it today.
We didn't get ours today either.
Here in the
Oh
middle.
my goodness.
Here in the middle is
I can't
a little-
see. All I can see is my screen share.
Anyway,
Make
it's a big
noise.
box.
It'll
It's a
show.
big box that says we're playing the movie. It's got the date and all the pertinent info on there. So that was good. So we're
Dawn,
continuing.
you have done such an amazing job on this. You You and Kate.
I
Yes.
I have done
Um,
very minimal. Dawn is a hero.
Yeah, everybody loves Kate's flyer, and she's gonna try to tackle some of the food truck, which has been the hardest thing, surprisingly.
Did you get
Yeah.
any help from Heather?
Kate's gonna call her tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was Lori's contact, Kate. That
Yeah,
from the
that sounded like a great idea. Or
yeah. So
contact.
either between this where you are right now, Justin.
Hmm.
So someone I know in town from the historical commission. She has a friend who's got a brand new food truck. I didn't even really quite get what the food truck was about. It may even be two, but he's a restaurateur in the area, and they were getting the food trucks inspected like now. So he didn't want to jump the gun in case they weren't approved for some reason.
mm,
We hopefully he comes through because he wouldn't have any. A lot of these others that we've reached out to, they've got a conflict on that date. So, but this one is brand new, so I wouldn't expect that he would have any
what
con.
about Smashed?
Smash is
Yeah, it's
coming.
right there. Yeah.
Oh,
They're,
good,
Smash is
good.
fully confirmed, and they're easy because they are already
They're
approved
in.
by the town, and
Yep.
everybody else needs to get inspected by both the Board of Health and the fire department. So I need to organize that once we know who is coming. But we talked with Tim about where they're going to line up in the back, and Nick from the baseball, Douglas Youth Baseball, has helped us with the power. There's the Bluetooth there for sound. We're all set with Boston Audio Rentals, who's setting up the giant screen. Um, what else? So, oh, the registration link. So this is like the internal link, I guess. So Justin did the registration when he did the invite. So far there's only like a dozen or people signed up, but I feel like there's a lot more activity that's not being reflected in that registration link because it's a little hard to
Right.
get someone to register for something when it's free and they can just come and go as they please. But
I know you. Well, I know you posted like a really friendly, user-friendly thing about trying to get an idea, of how many people.
right.
Is there a way, like you're the marketing person, that you can word it just a little bit more strongly to say, uh, is
Who
there okay, let me ask you this. There probably isn't a cutoff point for the number of people. I'm thinking way above.
Oh, if we had too many people, I don't know. I don't think we're going to have the too many people problem.
No, I know, but I'm just thinking of a way
Oh, but if we were to say like if you don't register, then you might not get in,
there's
kind
a
of thing.
chance of it being at capacity. I don't know if there's a
Not a
way.
bad idea, because we could say something like, um, get on make it sound like they're gonna lose out if they don't register and get there. Um, and I was also trying.
Remember, we're in Massachusetts, so we have rules. Going back to the Puritans.
I'm not sure if there's rules about saying we're over our
I know, but you don't
outdoor.
want to lie.
Yeah.
So think about
Oh,
it. You have a creative mind. You and Kate both have creative minds.
thanks. But yeah, but I think talking with Tim and getting the feedback for the selectmen, as Justin mentioned from his meeting with them, getting the okay for the food trucks. They're very excited about it. Sounds like word is starting to get out. Lori
Yeah.
Lori has a contact at the
It
Chamber of
was Jeannie
Commerce.
Hebert at the Chamber of Commerce gave
And
me that reference for Heather.
yeah, and
okay.
they already knew about the event. So one thing, so as far as promotions, Sarah, whose idea this was hanging up signs at a lot of the businesses downtown and the ice cream lady and a lot of other places. But there's a few, another 10 or so signs coming. So we want to get those up. And we also have some yard signs coming. So if anybody here or anybody knows of anyone who's on, a good location for a sign, a main road, in other words,
I'm
please.
more than happy to post one.
Okay,
It,
Danielle,
it,
that
yeah.
sounds good.
I mean, I can post on the Central Turnpike next to Whittier Farms if that's not too far away.
Ooh,
That'd
It
be a
is.
good location.
And I have a friend in Uxbridge who's on a main road, so I wanted to ask her because I did post it. I'm a member of Sutton, Uxbridge, and Northbridge's, similar to Dynamic Douglas. So I did post it there, but I think the thing is that we need to keep posting it. I'm frustrated as anybody with how much organic reach you get from these posts. Like it's just like it's so easy for it to fall flat and nobody to see it. So
Yeah.
we need to
right.
do kind of a combination of things. So we got it in one of the newspapers. It's on, I forgot what that one is called. Visit Central Mass. Rebecca posted it there. Hope we should have it in the new
There was
Uxbridge.
a list up here, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's a publicity list.
I went too far.
You got it. There you go. Publicity. You just had it.
Ah,
Discover Central Mass has it posted. The Blackstone Valley Tribune's there. It's up at the fire station as of today. Um, So again, what Justin was saying earlier, like the challenge is always reaching the young people. So I asked my Gen Zer today, suggested a TikTok video, which I'm not sure about. We don't have TikTok. I mean, I have my own TikTok account, but I never use it. And I'm sure the library doesn't have one, so I'm not
mm.
sure how far that'll get us.
You
But
know what I just thought of?
what?
I drive the senior van a couple days a week. Too bad you couldn't put like a advertisement banner on the senior van.
I know.
You could drive it all over
Yeah.
town.
Oh my God.
Oh, why don't we do that as a town? That
That
would
would,
be awesome.
Hey,
it would
Yeah.
be.
talk to Patrice, who probably want to talk to the powers that be at the town hall, but
Yeah.
boy, that would be a
Why
really
not?
in your face an opportunity for everyone to advertise, whatever Douglas is doing.
Hmm.
That would be awesome.
I know. It's pretty cool.
That's a wonderful idea. I
So what do
love
we have?
it.
3 more weeks, I think, until the event. I don't know if I guess we could ask that question. We need to get it printed, so that's a little bit of an expense. I am
Mm.
still waiting to hear from Unibank.
You can do a banner. If you're gonna do a banner, I'm not sure how you would do it on the van, but
Like a magnetic something or other, like Sue
they're
Gogolinsky
not
used to make
hugely expensive.
those magnetic things with the vinyl lettering on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, take the poster that you have and put it on what Lori says.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
like if
Same art.
Lori, you might be in a better position to talk to Patrice about this, but like the exactly the same kind of letters I use out on the library signs out front. Um, Buying just the letters, then you'd have a really configurable advertising opportunity if the whole side of the van is the same color and magnetic.
For
Because
going.
once you stick those magnetic letters on, wind from driving ain't gonna blow them off.
Really? They're that strong?
They're that
Oh
strong.
yeah,
Oh.
I
you
often
have
have
to
to
pry them
peel
off.
them off and pry them off with a
Oh,
screwdriver
Yeah,
from our
I worked
signs.
with those before. Yeah.
well, I do believe that those coaches are plexiglass, plastic.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
for weight.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm thinking. So, when they do put things on it, you'll probably see the town emblem and the Roadrunner name on the side of it. That's all vinyl.
Mm.
So I'm not sure how I'd go about it, but boy, it ran through my mind like that would be a great billboard.
Yeah,
I know.
definitely would.
Yeah, it came out so nice. And the yard signs are just like a little bit bigger and oriented the other way. So they look really good.
I,
Um,
I, I just wonder if Patrice would have any ideas on that.
So when are you going to be tomorrow, Lori?
Thursday.
Thursday. So you can maybe talk to her then.
Yeah, I'm also wondering if someone else couldn't go also. I mean, I can represent the library, but you know.
What do you need? I'm sorry, who do you need to do what?
I'd almost say, is there someone that I can have her call?
Have who call?
Patrice.
Patrice. It's
She can call me. I mean, she and I are
Or me.
friends.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, I'll refer her to, say, you, Justin.
Awesome.
All right. So I'll have her give you a call, and you can see how she feels about it. I don't know if I can't speak for her, so it would be, but it's worth asking. It definitely would be.
Yeah, I want to email her for nothing else, just to float this magnetic letters on the bus idea, because she could write so many messages on that thing.
I know. Yeah, whatever we need to promote, right?
Yeah, the Sunshine Club could make some side money if they wanted to continue as a billboard. Hey, and it's not so far-fetched, because not all, but I've seen where churches have advertisements on their handouts for the service.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's not
That's how they pay
question.
for doing that.
Yeah, so such as the library has the Friends of the Library, the Senior Center has the Sunshine Club.
Right.
They have like a nonprofit portion of themselves so that they can have more ability to get grants and funding. So you could talk to her on that angle as to how it would benefit that aspect. But, sometimes you can look at it like a business. Other people, the powers that be at the town hall make every decision for them.
No, I agree. I agree, Laurie, so much. And it could be something that is long term if we can come up with a plan. And like you say, there's how many opportunities?
I don't know if anybody else has thought of it. There's a lot of those kind of vans driving around here. And I remember them being referred to as their billboards. They used to tell the drivers that, because I worked for 20 years driving for Beaumont and then St. Camillus. And they would stress to the drivers, everything you do is scrutinized, because you get the phone number right on there if somebody thinks you're not doing it right, that kind of a thing. So having said that, the fact that you could put a call so-and-so for more details, well, there it is. If somebody just happens to be just driving behind it or by it and go, oh yeah, oh my God. And then a lot of times you see the van twice in a day or so, and they can catch that phone number. They can call it immediately while they're driving.
Right.
With their heads up display, so that they're
absolutely.
I was gonna say,
not breaking the
they
law.
just talk to Google. It comes up
but
on
if
their
you
car.
put it on the back end of the van, then you're going to have people coming up behind while you're sitting in traffic, and you're going to have more time to read that phone number.
Interesting event, or even the kids in the car. If you put the word baseball on something, half of those kids are going to jump out of this kid and go, ooh, ooh, ooh.
The Oxford under 16 team lost today. They were heading to the Nationals in North Carolina. They had one more win to go, but they came so far. So I think there's a baseball fever happening around here right now.
There you go.
And it'd be great to jump on that.
You can say like catchphrases like, do you like baseball? People in their head will immediately answer that in their head. Or, do you like history? Well, here's both.
Yeah.
And it's
Historic.
right in your, it's right here in your very own town. Quick
Well,
and simple.
the Recreation Commission probably has the number of a lot of local coaches. They could email them and ask them to spread it out to their teams.
Sure.
Excellent. Good idea.
Yeah, so Nick, who's the one helping from the baseball side of things, he's helping us, like he kind of helps with stuff on the field. So he's getting us trash cans and porta potties and getting us into the um whatever that building's called where all the food and bathrooms are and everything. But
Concession, yeah.
yeah,
Concession stand.
I guess. And then we're not using the concession stand, but just for other things, not for food.
Okay.
Um, what was I gonna say? So
The
one idea
clubhouse. It's called the clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
house. Thank you. So one idea I had was to have um while we're setting up, running a video that was like a mix of Little League photos. Like I would love to have the big group of Little League photos and or um still shots from the film. So Kayla was supposed to get us photos from the film, which are easier to get. And then Nick was asking the parents, he was putting out a call to the parents for any photos, but kind
But
of
you got to be careful with that. Some parents aren't willing to do that, but that's fine if they're willing, you know.
yeah, but my bigger thought on that was Nick should be telling them about maybe he is already. It just seems that like Tim Bonin, who does a lot of the coaching, and Nick, who, is head of the baseball youth service, whatever they call it, um, they're the ones where we can reach the kids.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that they're in like this time of year, it's hard to get someone at the school. Like we could have put a flyer, for example, in the school if school was still
Right.
on. It's not. So
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything we can do through this. I'm struggling with reaching the young people because other than TikTok, maybe they'll get some of the stuff on Instagram, but we don't have much of a following yet there.
Tim did say he was going to reach out to I guess there's a high school baseball team as well.
Yeah. So let me just clarify with Tim and Nick if they can like advertise it too. Like I can even write something
You
up.
know, my son has contacts with the Oxford Senior League team, and
Oh,
uh, so I can ask him if
That would
he
be
can
great.
that'd be perfect.
be
Yeah.
able to share the information. To just an aside from it, looking at numbers who are planning on attending. So I
Mhm,
put down that I was going. So
mhm.
that's myself, my husband, and their and my son, his wife, and 3 kids. So that's 8 people, 7 people. Um,
You want our registration?
I said I was going.
Okay. Oh, on Facebook.
Yeah.
We should write those down, Justin. Is there any reason for me not to add those to the response list, like as a separate?
Nope. If they haven't done both, then
Then I
we
could.
could manually add them into the spreadsheet so that we're tracking those numbers.
Okay, yeah. Because I just want to, having 12 people is not going to get a food truck here, but again, like I'm sure
Right.
there's a lot more people coming who aren't being listed there.
And I know as far as planning the event, we're getting really close. But as
Right.
far as people planning on going to the event, they say, "Oh, I've
This
got
age is
plenty of
okay.
time."
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I'm going to jump in again. I just had a thought in
Mhm.
regards to the van. Even when you talk to Patrice, could the van be used to pick up some of the seniors that don't drive? For example, say Riddlebrook or people
Mm.
from North Street, the
That would be
apartment.
fabulous.
It could go around and pick people up and bring them there if they're ambulatory.
I'll add that to my list of things to poke Patrice about.
That would be
Okay.
amazing.
Thank you,
They'd
Justin.
have to bring chairs.
Yeah.
Because the thing with this movie, right? Like, hopefully it appeals. I'm still have to get watch it. Um, but it should appeal to to all ages, right? Because like kids who like baseball, but it's really geared towards at least middle age, if not older. So, and I when Kate and I were there yesterday, I was like, I can really see why they picked this field as the field that's about to close down because it's very charming, but it's in need of updates, you know.
Yeah, it's
So,
definitely a pro.
yeah. So, but it's great. So
Hey,
I'm hoping that we have some level of um just word of mouth as well. So, I'm trying to get to the other towns and trying to tell people about it. And so if everyone can do a little bit of that, that's really helpful too. And hope
yes, and I think I'm going to jump in here and say that's what the trustees are here to do,
hmm
is to be involved in the community. So if each of us has someone, it could be just one person to share the flyer with and say, give it to whoever, share it. I think you multiply that by, we have 8 board members that, you tell a friend and they tell a friend. I
everybody
think
be
that's really good.
right. And
Definitely.
We're
and
also
so
relying a lot on the movie people, because they are going to be doing their own publicity and things. They want people coming to this because they're kind of treating it like their launch, right?
Mm.
yes,
Yeah,
well,
Yeah.
aren't they doing a tour?
so yeah, I want to show that Justin, I don't know if I can give you that in the chat, the link of the barnstorming tour they call it. I don't know if I can share or put it in the hold on, I'll put it in the chat and then you can just share it.
Okay.
So when you look at their tour, Kayla, who again is the person in charge, hasn't really even started promoting it yet. It's like 3 weeks away at this point, I think. But scroll down a little bit to where the map is, like maybe 3 more slides. And then see like
Ooh.
I love that. Where it's like we're right in the center and we're like the centerpiece of the tour. So they've got other dates around here and
And once this starts knocking around, I feel like this is where going to be where the majority of our attendees are going to find out about it and probably come.
from the movie people, you think, Justin?
That's my guess.
Okay. And so I'll talk to Kayla more as like next week, especially, and see what they're doing. And I'm trying to tag on. They're doing more Instagram, which I have, but don't use it as much as Facebook. So I'm trying to make sure. Oh, promotion opportunities.
I,
Yeah.
I have another input.
hmm
The baseball team that plays in Worcester, they have a billboard, and I'm sure there's a lot of fans that love history. And you're only talking Worcester. Is there any way to maybe get a moment's flash to promote on their billboard at a game?
That's an idea. Danielle tried to get their
I've
mascot.
I've been
That's
in
right.
touch. I've been in touch with the Woo Sox, and we're not season ticket holders, but we go to a lot of games. The mascots are spoken for that day because they have a date. And I did get back to them with the history of this field and the significance of this film being shown, and an appearance by Bill Spaceman Lee and the
Mhm.
whole thing, and hoping that the Woo Sox, even though they can't send a mascot, can somehow contribute. But I never heard back. Now,
Mm.
I think
I don't
that's a matter of squeaky wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can you imagine their agenda?
Yeah.
It
Especially
being
this.
a small town, but the way we deliver the message and don't give up um, may increase our chances of getting.
So, could I ask other trustees to help out? And what I could do is attach the flyer, which has the QR code to either register or get more info. and then in like maybe something that writes up like what it's all about and how it's the centerpiece of the event. And if I don't know who wants to do the Woo Socks, but if someone could do the Woo Socks and then maybe Lori's talking to the senior center. We still need more signs around town, either like the paper signs or the yard signs.
I can have a yard sign and ask Tim O'Brien, who's now got horses at the barn at the corner of Cedar Street and Wallace Street, uh, ask if they would be willing to put a lawn sign
Yeah.
right there at the corner.
Yeah, that would be
would be
great.
nice.
I was driving around today and I was like, oh, that house would be good. And I'm almost tempted to just like knock on the door because it's not like it's a political thing. It's just like a great community event. I can't
Yes.
imagine someone saying no, right?
Right.
Right.
Okay, so Dawn, I'll take a yard sign, and I will. You're going to send everybody the link and everything.
Yeah.
I will. I will continue my pursuit with the Woo Sox and
Yeah,
see what
feed them the
happens with that.
idea specifically of displaying it or advertising it somehow or
Yeah.
publicizing it
Yeah.
because I don't know that bulb has really gone off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I understand, and
That's
I was
great.
hoping
And if you're going to
that
do that,
this
I'm going
guy.
to take it off my to-do list.
Okay. Oh no, now I'm under pressure.
And
Who's the Bravehearts?
the Bravehearts I thought was another
That's hockey, isn't it?
yeah, like something other, not baseball, like football or
Yeah, it's hockey.
No, they're Worcester. It's like a post-college, I guess. They're all young players. They play at Fitton Field at Holy Cross.
Ah,
oh, wait.
that would be cool.
Okay, I'll
It's
send
like a
it.
summer league for 21 to like 25-year-olds.
Oh, nice.
That's perfect.
That'd be cool.
Maybe you can, Dana, maybe you can share with that community,
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
or
Yeah,
do you have contact with them at all?
no,
Okay.
but I'll still reach out to them.
thank you. Yeah, so ideas might come as time goes on. So, but I will, and then I'll keep doing social media, but it's just frustrating. Like it's just not what it used to be.
You can only go
It's
so far with
it's
that.
really not.
Can we see if the Heritage Corridor could put it somewhere on their newsletter? The Blackstone Valley Heritage Corridor is a resource that may support historical efforts,
Yeah.
and the mill baseball games were a part of it.
Lori, do you know if the Chamber of Commerce was going to list it? Because they seem to have a calendar.
I didn't ask her to, but nothing to say that those two agencies, they're both in the Linwood Mill, to see if they could put some promotion behind it.
Mm-hmm.
They have, I believe, Facebook, Instagram, newsletters, and websites.
Yeah, it's got to be a combination, I guess, because and then we're reaching all audience ages too. And whoever is within driving distance. Oh, one other thing, it's kind of a weird request, but someone might know of it. So the people from the movie, don't live in this area, so they're putting up some of the people, like there's only a few people who are like actual actors. Some of the others are just like friends of the movie, but um they were asking about places to stay in the area. I thought of that. I don't even know what it's called, but there's that hotel on 146 just a little north of here that can't be very expensive.
It used to be the Econo Lodge.
Oh
Something
God,
like
no, please, no, don't go there. No, no, no,
I
that's
don't
bad news.
wasn't a lot of Airbnb around here, so I just thought I would throw that out if anybody knew of I don't know, someone who had a big house that liked to rent it out or
I
something.
don't know.
There are a couple Airbnbs around that I've seen, but
Yeah.
It depends. Yeah, they don't have a lot of money, so
Yeah, we're
Camp
still in
out.
vacation mode too, actually, for Airbnb.
Right. They mostly be
On
full.
vacation,
And it's
yeah.
a Saturday,
Yeah.
that's the tricky part.
Do they have tents?
Yeah.
I could put them in a field.
They can stay at Soldiers Field.
Imagine the permits that would need.
I've got a tree house.
Library basement.
My house is
You're
already
putting it
full.
on Douglas Cable, right?
No, I forgot about Douglas Cable.
Of course. We're transparent, Betty.
I'm going to have Sarah do that because Sarah works for cable. Okay, let me see if I can get my video done. I'm leaving.
They're
We
trying
have
to
a
get network
barn.
coverage too, aren't they? Or did they drop that?
Say again.
Aren't they trying to get like bigger network coverage at the event, or did they drop that?
Oh, so this green is stuff for the EFS people to do. So the idea was that they were going to have some kind of broadcast crew. We can see it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that would just be for social media and those kind of promotions later. But Kayla said they hadn't really done much for it yet. So I think they've got multiple events and we're not the first one. So I think they're concentrating on those first. So there was no answer as to whether they had that yet, but I will keep following up with it. And then the day of, we seem like we're in pretty good shape. I talked to Adam at the highway department. He's going to get us traffic cones, and Tim suggested, like, he showed us like at the third baseline where the food trucks could be, and then maybe sawhorses so people don't walk over there. I think the lights are all set. Grill on Main is going to stay open late for especially the movie crew to kind of, I don't know, just kind of rehash everything afterwards if anybody wants to gather there later for more for drinks and maybe just a little bit of appetizer food would be there. So they were open. And then and then I'm in touch with the Boy Scout because we do need, so we've got overflow parking at the library, Webster First, Unibank, and Jackman's. They all agreed to that. If we need it, but I don't know. I'm not much of a parker. And I'm looking at the parking lot and I'm like, oh my God, how do cars get in here without being like a big circle of cars? So I'm
Yeah.
hoping either the Boy Scouts or some of the high schoolers that Tim Bonin's in touch with can be the ones who are parking cars and
Flaggers. They can act.
Tigers.
what did
They
you call
can.
it?
They can
Flag.
act as flaggers. They just keep traffic flow and make sure people are parking correctly.
Okay, yeah, and there's no lines, it's just like a free for all. So we're getting the traffic cones on Friday, and my thought was just like we'll kind of mark it out where the cars could park and see how many rows we could get and try to make them go kind of straight. So there's one of the Boy Scout troops, the one you usually work with 134, Justin, they're away at Block Island that weekend, but I asked Troop 316, who I haven't heard from yet, to see if they could offer some kids to help out. I need to check with them. Hopefully, we'll get some high schoolers who can help. And then we've got activities with the kids, which we could also use like teenagers to help with the bowling for books. I don't know if someone from the library can do that or if it needs somebody to man it.
Right now, it's probably me, unless someone else steps in.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I had to step away. What do you need?
Well, we have activities where, like Tim Bonin is going to do like a slow pitch softball or wiffle ball. I've got a giant Jenga that people can just do on their own. There's cornhole that someone could do on their own. The bowling for books might need somebody to man it that
But
afternoon.
it could probably be its own thing too. I mean, it is pretty. You just stack up the books, roll bocce balls at them.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I got some poster board just so we could make signs as needed, just like so people aren't like wondering what's going on. You're just like, okay, line up here to play this. We're going to be playing for a while. Um, that kind of info. We're going to have a microphone from Boston Audio Rentals and Bluetooth is set up. So I have a feeling Fred, my husband, is going to be helpful with this. He's not going to want to, but I'm going to be like
Okay.
music or whatever. So we'll
Good.
figure
Well, I plan on being there
out.
and to help in any way I can. Um, the reason I was muted and kind of went offline there for a minute was I have to have a medical procedure done August 1st. So August 9th, I should be okay to participate. I should be fine, but I want to be involved.
Thank you.
All right. No heavy lifting for Danielle.
Yeah, no, she
No
will
heavy lifting. No, absolutely not.
we'll make sure she has
But
her.
I can sell tickets or I don't know.
Yeah, but if you can check with that senior league in Oxford, Danielle, I think that's a great idea because the movie is, it's a little bit geared towards an older crowd than a younger crowd, but because it's baseball, I'm hoping
I
we can.
wonder if they'd be willing to get, I don't know, it's rough this time of year with vacations and everything with families, but I
Right.
wonder if they would be willing to get some of the kids together. They're not all from Oxford. It's a regional team.
Yeah.
But to get some of the kids together to make an appearance and maybe give them a little hoo-ha, something. And let me
Right.
check with my son and see uh, about that.
Yeah, that would be great. And
Because that would bring in that age. We're always struggling to bring in, and it's pertinent.
right. Right. So, yeah, that would be great. And I'll ask Sarah too about the younger kids because she's got a younger kids. But we're all set. Justin well, again, we're waiting to see. I think Unibank, they were having their meeting like tomorrow about
Hmm.
their sponsoring. I just have this feeling that they're going to come through, but we don't know 100% until they have their meeting. But Justin's proceeding with paying everybody so that we're confirmed with showing the film and having the audio visual company come. They're all set. A few printing costs, but that's it. We didn't need to get any insurance. Um, the advertising so far has been free, but we'll see. Yeah, and if anybody thinks of anything else, any other ways we can reach people, that would be great.
Yeah, you're doing an awesome job.
It's a lot more work than I expected.
That's a lot.
Oh, yes.
This is a
So
big
much.
event. I have planned and put on events over the years in my work, but nothing quite as big as this.
I know I hope it's going to be a big event. Justin said he's happy if it's a small event, but I really want
How
something.
can it not be? The
Well,
Red Sox are doing well,
do we
kind
have
of.
newspapers that are going to do coverage of it?
Well,
Mm.
I wrote something up for the what's the nut? The Blackstone.
Uxbridge Times. News of the Nut
Oh,
is
the
the New Uxbridge
Blackstone
Times, isn't
Tribune.
it?
Is that it?
The Tribune is the
Blackstone.
one I showed you.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's right
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
backwards.
Tribune.
That came out today.
What's the
And
other one?
the
But somebody's going to want to be there
There's the
taking a picture
Uxbridge
of.
Times. Do you have that?
the new Uxbridge Times, they're the ones who confirmed, and I wrote something up that was a little
Mm-hmm.
bit longer for them. Um,
Okay.
I sent something to the Express, but I'm told that their newspaper doesn't come out till later. Like Rebecca had
They don't publish a lot. They only do it.
it's like the week before, I think. So hopefully we're still in there. And I reached out to a few of the Telegram features writers, but no one has answered me yet. So I need to check with them.
Hmm.
Like,
Interesting.
yeah. And I was also thinking of the patch. I don't know how much people read that, but I'll see what we can do.
Oh.
And we'll put a video on TikTok and see if anybody watches it.
Oh
Um,
boy, here we go.
and that's it. So yeah, so I think we haven't hit all the pizza places yet, but we'll do that and get get a few more signs out. And
So
I think
my focus is going to be to get in touch with the Oxford Senior League
yes, and the Woo Sox. I think you're doing the Woo
and the
Sox.
Woosocks, Senior League and Woosocks.
But
Okay.
I'll send you all the the brochure or whatever we want to call it, the flyer, and kind of like the pertinent info that you can just send to whoever you're talking to.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
You should get like the keys to the city or something for this.
Yeah, what can I get from the
I
selectmen?
know.
Maybe they owe us like favors, or maybe we owe them favors.
Yeah.
A lifetime appointment to the board of library trustees.
Wow.
But I think to Danielle's point a minute ago when she was like, well, I confirmed the invite on Facebook, so I think other people will do that too, you know what I mean? So I think we need to keep in mind that people don't realize they always have to register.
All right. Okay. All right. Take it away, Kate.
Awesome work, Dawn.
Thanks.
We're all done?
I can confirm now I never want to be an event planner.
There's a reason whenever Sarah had this idea, I said, this is beyond the library staff's ability to take on.
Yeah,
It would take.
And Lori called it. She's like, well, when I ran into her, she's like, that's a lot of work. I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. Rebecca said the same thing. And I'm like, what? It's no big deal.
Piece of cake, right?
So thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dawn.
Sure.
All right, moving on to overdrive.
Back to boring stuff. So the overdrive issue, I'll sum this up more quickly than this paragraph. I've been so focused on the fact that since overdrive dropped off the state contracts, we wouldn't be able to spend more than $9,999 with them, that I hadn't really thought about the fact that we were losing our discounts. So now everything is 25% more expensive, and we don't get to keep it as long because our contract also included, statewide. It let us keep things forever that if you don't have a contract for, you only get to keep for 24 months. So until the state reopens this bid, until the MHEC and Overdrive talk and get back on the state contract, it does not make sense to spend any money in Overdrive. It's a bad deal for Douglas taxpayers, and not doing so will hopefully hasten a resolution. So in the meantime, I'm just spending Overdrive's allocation of, our weekly CERC budget on buying more copies of books. I bought some more Wonder books. If people need audiobooks that they don't have access to, I'm still encouraging them, reach out to me directly. I'll buy what patrons ask for. But I'm not allocating any of our, of my purchasing strategy to it until, I'm not throwing away a quarter for every dollar I spend.
Yeah.
Let's hope it gets resolved.
Everyone wants this resolved. I have no doubt it will get resolved. It's just a matter of how long it takes them.
Yeah.
All right, new business. Strategic plan.
I advocate not making one.
Okay.
Sounds reasonable.
I think I would like some sort of not a long thing, not what if you long range plan, but just for a year, just to give us an idea of what
like an action plan. I think that's fair to go ahead and make an action plan. It just doesn't have to be rooted in a big strategic plan thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I think it's a good discipline for you and for us to go through it, the exercise.
I agree. I think it gets us to look back on what we've done and where we're going to go with it in the next year, whatever. Well, if you go past a year, then it's not going to be an action plan. It's going to be a strategic plan. So it would be, my thought is that an action plan is more short term. But I agree, Ellie. I think
we should set some short term goals to see us through this era of chaos.
Yes, because we're not sure where we're heading.
Yeah, keep steering the ship.
Yep.
Right. So we want to be on top of things, but we don't want to be trying to second guess what's going to happen. But Ellie, I think that's a great idea. Maybe we can put
Gonna
that
write a
on
note
the
in here, action plan on next agenda. So you see that
absolutely.
whenever we're doing minutes.
Yeah, we're getting later and later right now. So next agenda. That sounds like a good idea.
All right, out of state patrons. My old town of Thompson, Connecticut is having some problems.
Aw.
They
It's
are.
a very nice library.
Is. And we're kind of having to face the ugly truth that, Massachusetts libraries are faring pretty well, but libraries south of the border don't have as robust systems as the MBLC and the MLS. And Thompson is having local budgetary issues. I don't know what they are and don't have time to research it, but their patrons are starting to come north of the border to library shop. And it's starting to turn a little bit dicey because they can go to Webster and they'll say you can have a card for $35. They can go to Southbridge and they can get one for free. They can come here and they can get one for free, or they can go to Dudley and they can't have one at all. So we're trying to get everybody on the same page regarding policies for out-of-state patrons, especially in this southern region, because a lot of the interior libraries don't like the fact that we do out-of-state cards at all. For example, if you were a Massachusetts resident and went to Thompson, Connecticut, you could pay a $35 annual fee, but you would only be able to use their library. Whereas if you have a CWMR's library card, it lets you access, the state databases, it lets you access Libby, and there's no way we can make it not do that. To not have the rest of CWMRs hate us, I would like to propose that the trustees vote to institute a $35 annual fee on out-of-state library cards for the time being, and keep this on the agenda until the librarians in the region have had a chance to come up with a uniform policy that we can all get behind.
Okay. So I will entertain a motion to impose a $30 fee.
35.
I'm sorry. $35 fee for out-of-state residents to get a Douglas library card.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Okay, discussion?
Yes, I'd like to know if somebody from Connecticut can get one. I think we should be able to get one from a town in Massachusetts that's been banned from borrowing because of their budget.
That's been decertified, you mean?
Right. I don't think we should let Connecticut have one if we're saying no to Massachusetts towns.
I'm not sure I understand.
I understand, and it's a hard thing to suss out in nuance because we're assuming when someone applies for a card from out of state that their library is fine. We don't find out if they're a decertified patron or not. Whereas someone who lives in Massachusetts whose library has been decertified would not have access to the same pathway back to Massachusetts resource because we don't offer them the same deal.
I have a question. What happens to the $35? Does it go into the tills of the town and to free cash, or does it go into our pockets?
Since it comes through the same flow, since it's basically, like a library fee associated with obtaining a card, I would assume it would count as a fines and fees and go into our revolving account.
Right.
Which we can then use legal? For. Yeah, that's how Gene, I imagine, would allocate it.
You can charge for a library card? That's legal? I thought it was a free service of a town.
We can charge an out-of-state resident. We have to give any Massachusetts resident a library card. because they're Massachusetts taxpayers, and we benefit from them through, the state aid to libraries program. The rub with out-of-staters is they haven't paid anything into the system at all, ever. So other libraries feel like they should have a fee they have to pay to get a card, or that we shouldn't be doing them at all.
So why does Connecticut need to come here? What's with their library?
Thompson, Connecticut just decreased their hours, and I'm not sure what all else. I just know that their library funding has been cut, and it's questionable whether it's going to be restored or not.
But they still have a library?
As far as I know.
But they want to come to ours instead.
Yes. Well, they're kind of seeing the writing on the wall, so they're shopping for their inquiries are coming in. Like, how do I get a card in Massachusetts if I'm a Connecticut resident?
So if this motion passes, I said you were going to keep it on the agenda. Could they come tomorrow if we vote it in, or is this just going on the agenda?
Well, right now, if they come, we don't have a policy for not giving out-of-state cards. So I would just give them a card for free. If we pass this tonight, they'll be able to get one for $35 until we come up with a better policy.
How many people from out of state have approached the Douglas Library recently?
We've gotten 5 inquiries in the past 2 weeks. And at any given time, we've maybe had 1 or 2 out-of-state patrons at a time. We've always been very accommodating because there's usually a reason for them to be here. Like someone from Rhode Island works here, someone from Connecticut has a kid in the school or something. So they have a reason to use our library, and we've never really been inclined to say no. It's just now it's becoming an issue because everyone's trying to protect their resources.
Well, I really think if we're giving it to Connecticut, that we ought to be able to give it to Massachusetts towns that have been decertified. I don't know if we can make them pay $35 or not, but only seems fair.
Yeah, when I worked in Sturbridge, Brimfield was the next door neighbor, and they were decertified, and we would make them pay, as I recall.
A one-time fee?
I can't remember. It was many years ago that I worked there. So,
according to CWMR's policy now, it has to be an annual fee. It has to be something that's collected annually.
Okay. It was not through CWMRs, it was through the towns and the MBLC. It was not, CWMRs had nothing to do with it.
No, that didn't exist yet, did it?
CWMRs has been around for a long, long time, but it took a long time for small libraries like Douglas and Sturbridge to get into CWMRs. It was we were all doing things manually, or we used something called Winnebago, which was a software before that was cheaper, but at least you were able to figure out how to get automated, but in a cheaper way.
Well, it was cheaper, but those were servers that were running in the basement because they were still running when I started in 2015. The Winnebago servers with the old ILS and the old card catalog were just cranking away underneath the fire alarm down here, and no one actually knew what they were doing.
Oh my God.
So this motion is for an annual fee?
I hear you, Betty. I kind of agree with you, which is why I also want it to be a consideration that we just don't do out-of-state library cards. And that's a discussion that a lot of librarians or a lot of the directors around here favor. There's why do we do out-of-state cards at all? The easiest thing to do policy-wise is just to stop offering out-of-state cards to patrons, and then you don't have this double standard where you're offering out-of-staters an annual fee to buy back in, but your decertified municipalities don't have the same option. But at the same time, we kind of don't want to give the decertified municipalities the same option because that's the ammunition that they have to restore their own funding.
And same thing for out-of-state libraries who have got their funding. I mean, we're not responsible.
Exactly. And we can't really do the research to find out if someone coming from out of state is from a well-funded library or a library that just, closed. And so they're, desperately scrambling about for material. So, the easy thing to do here would be to just not do out-of-state cards. And maybe that's the better vote to take until a better policy is figured out on a consortial level. Or at least a regional level.
Mm-hmm.
Did we vote? Yeah.
Do we have?
No, we haven't voted yet.
Do we have a motion on the floor?
Yes.
Yeah, somebody moved it and somebody seconded it. We haven't
voted. Could you
read
it again, please?
Oh, I didn't write it down. But I will make up something. The motion was to
charge 30.
Have a $35 fee.
Yep.
The motion was to institute a $35 annual fee.
Right.
Yeah. So that was seconded, and then we discussed, and so I'm sort of moving the question right now.
So are we ready to vote?
So if we want to not do it at all, we could vote no and then make another motion.
Sure.
Now you threw me. Well, Kate, you're running it. I'm sorry.
I know we're like dually running it at this point. I don't know if that's legal, but all right. So shall we vote on the motion on the table first, and then see what happens? All right. All those in favor of instituting a $35 annual fee on out-of-state library cards, say aye. All opposed, say no.
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 I'll abstain.
Sadly, but no. For the time being. It does.
So does someone now want to make a motion that we stop issuing out-of-state library cards?
I guess we do need to do that, don't
we? We don't have to do that. We can leave things the way they are.
Or we can leave things the way they are, where it's free.
No, I don't want to do that. I'd rather do that when you just said not issue out-of-state cards.
Okay, so we need a new motion.
All right, since Kate's running the meeting, I can make a motion to not allow out-of-state cards.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do you want me to add this on the caveat until a better regional policy is devised, or do we just want to leave it?
Well,
I would say until there's a regional solution.
So what do you do in the meantime if someone from Connecticut comes up and says, I'd like a library card? What do you say if we're in between deciding?
I would say we're not issuing out-of-state library cards right now. But if you would like to give me your information, I can let you know if that changes. Because it's a discussion in development.
Some people already have them.
Some people already have them, not many. None are being actively used right now, but I wouldn't kick anybody out who is already in. Their account will eventually expire. And at that point, we would have to figure out what to do. But I highly doubt we have anyone right now who would even notice. Unless there's someone who moved out of state a long time ago and has continued using ebooks, which is kind of precisely what MBLC doesn't want to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Why is my battery
While
running?
y'all discuss this, can I go help close the library real quick? I will be back.
Yep.
All
Well,
right.
no,
So
I
can
want
we?
to leave. I want to move the question and
Yes.
adjourn. I really
Yes.
my
Are you okay? I know. Okay.
We can vote.
okay.
Um.
Kate, are
So
you
we
doing it?
Okay,
Go
so
ahead, Kate.
all in favor of no longer issuing out of state library cards for the time being until there's a better solution, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained?
Abstain.
All right. Ugh. That's kind of sad things, but
It is.
My battery is running low for some reason. Everything is plugged in, but I don't know why it is.
well,
That's because it's 8:03.
New business. We're almost done.
It's time to
No
be
other new
done.
business.
No new business allowed.
Actually, no.
Come on, Justin.
No. Next meeting,
Said
August
stuff.
26th at 6:30 p.m.
All right. All those in favor of adjourning? Wait, we need a
Aye.
motion.
Aye.
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 Oh, and it's 8:04. Okay.